Renato finally reached Lapino. The rabbit was practicing his
This so
shuffle.
far is the same.
Renato recognized the cards. It was Lapino's favorite deck. Oh, I thought you were in danger. I am. The ravens are coming. Oh, the prison thing. Right, yeah, we see this guard owed me 53 ducats, so we made a deal. They're very reasonable people, actually, for weasels. Now, I got a brilliant plan to kidnap Zenobia. We capture Zenobia, we find out what she knows, and that's the whole war right there. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Capture the Emperor's greatest general, who also happened to be a deadly sorcerer and, oh, his only daughter? That would be worth it. On the other hand, he could still get to the core of the Sky Ripper, even if he couldn't get the whole thing. It must have great power.
Last time I did this, I went and got Zenobia. So, I think this time, even though I want to find out Zenobia's
To make the Sky
I'm gonna go
Ripper,
for the Sky Ripper.
the transcendent Emperor had wrapped an armature around the eye of a god. Bernardo had already let that armature slip away to save Lapino's life. But even its core, the eye torn from a god, surely they could fashion a great weapon from that. The core of the Sky Ripper? Lapino's excited. That's an actual thing that we can just go and get. You've been busy. He sure has.
I'm not sure that I want Lapino with
Renato
me, though.
told him all the things he'd been up to. Soon they got to talking about old times, about wages they'd won and lost, and scrapes they'd barely got out of.
Until he
It was
betrayed
good
me.
to be back with his friend.
Last
True,
time he
the
shot
core
me
was
in the
capable
heart
of
with a
terrible,
crossbow.
uncontrollable destruction. But this time, he was sure it would work great.
This time. The pretty loading screen.
It's beautiful here, thought Renato. It was nice to be back with his old war buddy. All right. Lapino was a traitor. But still, it was good company.
Okay.
He hadn't noticed that path before.
Trying to think. I think I went that way. I don't have enough. Yep, because here's a letter. Dear Zenobia, the director of the Academy has told me how much he was impressed by your academic performance and leadership. Somehow, I doubt this was a session of bootlicking. I have seen plenty of those. That old toad is sincere. I am proud of you, my daughter. You will make a fine empress one day. On my end, great news. Professor Calvares has been studying the Nexus, and he has made a bold observation. That toad is a true genius. You know how that island is unique, constantly changing, new crystalline formations appearing, island fragments merging, splitting, slowly drifting, held together by some invisible threads? Professor Calvares is convinced those changes are not random, but rather indicative of the living nature of the islands. He has observed that certain changes on the Nexus flow or something precede a turbulence on other islands. Landslide, quake, flood, the Nexus seems to resonate with those events. Maybe the islands are hive mind and the Nexus is the brain. In any case, I am funding a permanent scientific observatory on the Nexus. It will attract the Empire's greatest minds with Professor Calveris at the helm. I anticipate a great age of enlightenment for the Empire. With love, Father. Yep, I definitely can go this way.
This one looked familiar.
Treasure hunter.
Had he lost this one in a card game?
I
Welcome
have
back,
all the
he
gems
thought.
now. It's basically all about timing your squares and directions correctly. All the square mashing. My favorite part, all the breaking of things. Okay.
There was something sour in the air. Like the earth had
What is
ruptured over
this?
something that had been fermenting for a very long time.
I haven't been this way. I'm just gonna quick go over. I went that way, I remember that. Well, I guess we're going this way.
That is a very cool sword, thought Renara. No, seriously. He couldn't feel his paw anymore.
Away we go. There's probably a chest over here. I don't know. Nothing that way. Gotta switch to this sword, yep.
There was a pleasant breeze coming through that door. Had it been closed before?
Elemental resistance. Yeah, level 2.
Renato felt wrong all over. He could feel an almost palpable sickness in the air. And if the land could have tumors, they would look like these monstrous crystals. The forest was quieter than it had been. There were insects, but few birds, if you didn't count the ravens. Renato smelled sick animals and dying ones, but no healthy ones. And getting a bad feeling about this, Renato thought. Maybe Lapina was right. Maybe they should have kidnapped Zenobia instead of coming here.
Nah. I made the right choice. I believe. Alright, there's that way, and there's this way. I feel like I went that way last time.
That was always a rush.
I love that you can grab them and just go like, BAM! Come back. Level 3 shield breaker, very nice. I like the shield breaker gem because then you don't have to grab the shields to get them. To get their shields so you can actually attack them, otherwise they just block everything. Everything. These doors are nice to open no matter what sword you have out.
Of course there was a puzzle. You couldn't expect the transcendent Emperor to bury a god's eye in a leather sack where anyone could pick it up.
That part of the puzzle though. Points yet. Almost there. I don't know what your maximum level is though. As you can see, I acquired all health. Probably do sword magic next. Maybe. I do like using the magic, but it takes a while to recover. So I try not to use it too much. Uh-oh.